like between his neck and his between his collar and his chin. You can see the neck, and the necklace then wraps in the succeeding frames all the way around. So it obviously broke.
Yeah.
So it might move in the same direction, but the timing may be off.
Yeah, it's going to be completely different because you've got your body's rotating on one axis, and the shirt is not keeping up with it. So
okay, Dave, do we have that video, the side profile one? Okay, so again, this is not something we can show on screen, but you guys, if you follow the case, you've probably seen this online. But let's just play this real quick, just for us in here. So this is at the point of impact. You can see, obviously, the back of his head where his hair meets the neck. Yep. Totally shifts position on the shock of entry. The shirt almost in concert on the frame changes positions too, but it changes at the top. So like if I'm looking at the back, yes, there's movement in where the shirt is on the upper back, but when I look up at where the trap meets the neck, it moves profusely right there in, I'm going to say, eyeballing at about a 25-degree upwards direction. So seeing as the bullet is fired from technically above him at 138 yards, as they say, is that strange that that the neck and shirt are moving almost like in an upward direction like that, as opposed to online?
Yeah, I couldn't say because of the dynamicism of this, and that shirt is also anchored in the back where he's leaning back like this. Do you see that? So it's anchored. It's kind of held in that position. It really doesn't change position there. So how is that energy going to transfer about, or how is it going to translate in appearance to the cloth or the fabric of the shirt as this round is allegedly striking the body? I find this shot particularly, let me rephrase that. I find this imagery particularly fascinating because of what you're seeing relative to the anatomical changes.
Anatomical changes.
Yeah, well, you can see the neck actually protrudes a bit there. Not a bit, significantly. It pulls away posterior right. You can see even the hairline changes there.
How does that not have an exit wound if it changes that profusely?
I have no idea. The energy transfer, if it did in fact, as Barron had pointed out earlier, which is fascinating relative to what they're saying about C2 through C7.
Seven,
yeah. An incredible level of violence, internal violence there. And the skin is reacting to that wave of energy that's going through there. And Lord only knows, I would love to know to what degree. Well, first off, specifically, what vertebral body was actually impacted, like specifically, because you can get this kind of peripheral fracturing that takes place because of a concussive event, where you'll get these little hairline fractures and all that stuff. But which vertebral body did it actually slam into, if that's what they're saying, with C2 through C7, and how is that affecting externally the skin there? And the hair itself
is standing up.
Yeah,
it looks like it's being blown.
It does. It really does.
Like it looks like a rush of air is driving the back of his hair up.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And the skin actually billows as well. You can see it.
What do you mean by billows?
Well, the diameter of the neck. If you go inferior to the right ear, okay, and then posterior downward like this, the elasticity of skin has always fascinated me relative to things I've seen happen to human bodies. How it'll extend and then it'll retract again after this has happened. You've got a lot of things that are going on internally, all of the muscular structures that are in there, the fascia that even connects the skin to the muscle. If you don't know what fascia is, if you've ever had a pork roast, it's that thin white membrane, it's on the surface of like pork roast or beef roast or whatever it is that, you kind of have to strip it off, that sort of thing. The fascia is even impacted and affected, and it anchors our skin in place, right? Over the surface, you've got the dermis, and then you've got subcu fat, and then the fascia is beneath that. It kind of lays over the musculature back there. You were talking about his traps right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else there, Baron? You want clarified?
The necklace, does a necklace snapping?
Brother, I'm sorry, I cannot. My eyes are so bad,
Yeah.
I cannot even see. Is there any way? You could expand that for me, because I can't appreciate.
Yeah, so you'll see a flash right above his shirt, over his right trap, right there.
Okay, yeah,
So his necklace,
it's got a wave in it.
well, it snapped.
Baron?
Yeah,
It snapped. It's a very hardy, yeah.
Right in there.
Yeah, you can kind of see it right over the front of his neck, but like between his neck and his between his collar and his chin, you can see the neck, and the necklace then wraps in the succeeding frames all the way around. So it obviously broke.
yeah.
Is that something you see consistently with people wearing necklaces? They're shot in the neck, and it has.
Again, it all depends on the caliber of the necklace. I've had a lot of cases involving people wearing very heavy chains over the course of my career, and the narrower the diameter or the caliber of the metal, they become more fragile or more susceptible to an impact. Most of the time when I see them, though, when I've seen them, the thing is bent and twisted, and that's because a round passed through the necklace, as opposed to, or maybe a fragment of a round, or if a round is passing through, like what we refer to as an intermediate target, like if you have rounds that come through a wall, which happens frequently, particularly with high-powered weapons, AK-47s, those sorts of things that have this tremendous muzzle velocity. You can still retain enough energy that you'll have necklaces broken. I've seen that happen,
But from a direct impact.
Yeah, generally from a direct.
Because
I've never seen it like in a concussive. I'm not saying it couldn't happen.
Right.
It's very well possible, but from a concussive event, I don't think I've ever seen one snap.
Yeah, it looks like it snapped down by, it had a charm on it that was hanging down by his sternum.
So
where
Baron's
bottom.
pointing at camera one. Baron's pointing right here. It's just below where his camera is. So I just want to point that out. You're pointing right here?
Right there,
Okay.
yeah. So he had a cross charm that was hanging there, and it looks like that's where it broke. And it stumped a lot of people, because they say, how do you take a round to the neck and then your necklace breaks in the middle of your chest and then slings over your head? So I figured I'd ask you since I had you here.
Do we know that, I'm assuming they collected that necklace?
They did not.
They did not?
Lovely.
Erika Kirk is currently wearing it, a repaired version of it.
Lovely.
They did not collect it. That was actually in the Brian Harpole, Sean Ryan interview. Or no, maybe that was Frank Turek that talked about finding it.
Is that the pastor guy?
Yeah.
Right.
Erika apparently was calling, asking about the necklace. Nobody knew why. Nobody I knew identified a necklace with Charlie, as that was like the identifying characteristic of Charlie. Maybe a microphone, but not a necklace.
And that's one of the major problems I have with high-profile cases, is that, and again, I'll go back and return to what I said earlier. When you start to treat cases differently than other cases, that's problematic.
Yeah.
Because from an evidentiary standpoint, the necklace has value. Because if it broke, guess who I want to take a look at it? I want tool mark people to take a look at it. I want the tool mark people with the crime lab. I want them to see it. I want them to see, how'd this thing fracture? Give me your opinion.
Yeah.
Because again, ruling in, ruling out. No, I'm not going to give a necklace back to somebody that was around the neck of an individual that has been publicly executed. No, are you out of your mind?
How about the mic? She's got the mic. She's got the mic in a like a fucking Lombardi trophy in some glass box that she takes to events that you pay $10,000 a fucking plate to donate, and it's still got the blood on it, by the way. But like, don't you think that should probably be in the chain?
Everything there.
Thank you. Thanks for
has evidentiary. You're going to get me spun up now.
Please,
everything there has evidentiary value. That chair has particular value.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
You talking about the chair that Terrell Farnsworth stood in to get the camera?
Well, people are going to do what they do in the immediate.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily.
What's the evidentiary value of the chair?
Oh, well, I'll tell you specifically.
Joseph, not to direct here a little bit, but when you're talking, just a little bit more on an angle, just so people here can kind of see
that?
it. That's
Is that better? Okay.
That's perfect.
I'm sorry, I've got to
You're doing great.
I've got to direct my eyes. I'm going to look at you. All right.
Okay. No, I want you to look at Baron, but just like keep it where you're kind of like in between us, that kind of thing.
I want to tell you,
Look at Dave.
I love your haircut. I love your haircut, by the way, too. It looks good, man.
Thank you.
I like
You got
it.
a haircut since yesterday, didn't you?
No, I just thought that yesterday I forgot to talk about how my ears have looked. It's okay.
It's a bad word. Okay, so
Mark it, dude. He's learning. Thank you guys for watching the episode. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button on the video. They're both a huge, huge help. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram and X, those links are in my description below.